Hi, my name is Jay, and today I'm preparing spring rolls. So this is the first clip, so I am washing my hands in this segment because you always have to have clean hands before preparing like any dish. So alright, after you wash your hands, you gotta dry your hands and prepare the pot for boiling pork belly. So you have to fill it around halfway, I believe, so that there's enough water to cover over the pork belly. So there I am, filling it up halfway, and then bring it to the stove. So you set it to around, I believe, medium-high heat. And then I turn on the light right here and then just set it. Yep, there we go, medium-high heat. Alright, once you got the stove on, then you're gonna add in 2 spoons of salt into your water. So here I am adding 2 spoons salt. Then after you've put in the salt, then you put in, I believe, 2 spoons of sugar. I don't really know why. Maybe your seasoning, I don't think so, but you just gotta add it in. Alright, right here I am washing the pork belly. You gotta wash it just to make sure there's no like random pieces of dirt or like any blood or anything on it still, so you gotta wash it all off. So here I am washing it in the sink, and then I put it in its own separate container, and I grab 2 pork belly because that's how much I'm gonna need for today. After that, you always gotta wash your hands, make sure they're clean after touching the meat. And then I'm gonna prepare the next pot for the rice noodles. So we're gonna also have to boil the rice noodles, so you also have to fill a separate pot around halfway. It doesn't have to be as high as the other one, just make sure that there's enough water for that the noodles can like boil inside of them. So bring your pot over to the stove. It doesn't capture it on camera, but it's there. And then I set it to around a little bit hotter than medium, not too much. And then those are the rice noodles. We're just using prepared ones that you just have to like boil. So there we go. Put it off to the side for now. And then we're gonna prepare the lettuce for the dish. We have to wash it, and I believe I washed it 3 times just to make sure there's no dirt or anything still inside of it, because we're gonna need it like fresh. A new green arrives. I believe this is cilantro. And we're also just gonna do the same thing we did to the lettuce. We're gonna wash it 3 times, make sure there's nothing in them. Alright, it's time to bring over the pork belly since the water is ready. So grab your pork belly and then make sure you hold at the top and then lay them down inside slowly, just to make sure you don't burn any of your fingers. After you drop the pork belly inside, since we have time to kill, we just gotta wash the Tupperware. So here is me washing both containers and then putting them away in a different cabinet. Alright, you add in peppers after the pork belly has been sitting for a while, and then add your rice noodles into the other pot to begin boiling. Then after that, I would grab my saucepan and then grab my ingredients such as peanut butter sauce, hoisin, pepper for later, and then right now I'm grabbing 1 cup of water. There's no exact recipe for this peanut butter sauce, it's just all off taste, so water just makes it more liquidy. so we're gonna need water. And then peanut butter makes it thick and a little bit sweet, but not too sweet. And then hoisin sauce adds in, well, the overall sauce and a lot of sweetness. So here I am grabbing the peanut butter, and then I put one in the beginning just to mix it around, make sure it is melted in the water first, and then after that I would begin to add my hoisin sauce. Here I start to add the hoisin sauce into the saucepan after a while. So I add in 3 spoons of hoisin sauce inside, just because this is like, you need more hoisin sauce than you need peanut butter sauce, if that makes sense. Alright, here's me mixing, and the sauce became too liquidy, so I have to add in peanut butter to thicken it up a little bit. That's what it looks like inside the saucepan. It's a nice consistency, the consistency that we would want out of this sauce. So there we go. And then I pan over to the pork belly. I believe it's done right about here, so I have to turn off the fire, of course, and then prepare it for chopping. So I grab a strainer and then chopsticks and move the pork belly onto the chopping board. Once your pork belly is on the chopping board, I grab a knife and prepare to get chopping. So I grab a plate to set off one of the pork bellies onto there because I need more room to work. So I set it aside and then I begin chopping. Because when you're chopping pork belly, it has to be like thin slices that are equal to each other. My first attempt, they were a little bit longer, but on the second one, once I got more practice from the first one, they became more even. It's time for the assembly, so I have to grab the sauce and put it inside a bowl as my dipping bowl. So grab it out of the saucepan. It's a nice, good texture, the one we want. I pour it in. Yep, looks pretty good if I do say so myself. There we are. And then once that is over, we bring it over to the table, and then I cut peppers into the bowl because if you're not eating it spicy, it doesn't really taste that amazing. I prefer spicy. So I grab my rice paper, I dip it in the water because that's all you need to prepare rice paper. So dip it inside water and just lay it flat on your plate like this. There. I would first grab lettuce. I put it down as my main base. Then I would grab the cilantro to put over the lettuce. So there we go. And then you would grab your meat of choice afterward. So I put the pork belly into clumps right here, and then I grab the individual pieces I cut up and then make a line out of them. And I double stack just because I prefer more meat in my spring rolls. And then you would grab your rice noodles right after, grab them and then lift them up. You don't want too much rice noodle, you don't want to make your spring roll too thick. So I grab a small piece and then I just make a line. And then how you roll spring rolls is how you would like roll an egg roll, for example. So I just start like straight down the middle, and then I pull in the sides, and then a little bit in the top I would wrap them in, so then it's just like easily I can roll it forward. And here's a clip of my dad actually eating the spring roll. He prefers shrimp, but I like pork belly.